everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So I needed to tell y'all, we all have secrets. We all have secrets. We sit up there and we have secrets and we make mistakes. We make mistakes. And so how evil can one person be to lie about their sexual disease status? Evil, man, evil. That's and have me live with the fact, me thinking that I have herpes simplex. So that was a secret, and that shows loyalty. That was a loyalty secret I was willing to keep for the rest of my natural life. And God and only God will understand. It's so funny how this person who reached out to me was here yesterday in the area. Just happened at 1 o'clock, booty call hours, just random. Everybody that I've talked to has been on camera. And the last apartment complex I was at, La Vista, used to grab the people that I come over my house and they used to set me up. Case in point, one guy said that I had HIV/AIDS. And when I said I didn't, he said, I know you do. No test, no nothing. So immediately I got a test and immediately I wanted him gone. I plotted on how to buy a gun and shoot off his kneecaps for saying that shit to me. But I stopped. And I said, this is not who I am. And I was very evil back then, listening to rap music. So fast forward today, July 1st, 2025. I sat up there and took a test after sleeping with someone. Every time I sleep with someone, I take a test. And that's one thing I can pat myself on the shoulders. 41 years of my life, never had not one disease. You know, my husband gave me a disease. He was sleeping around on me and I never cheated on him. And for some reason, I was like under his spell. It was a treatable disease. He claims he got it from a prostitute before me, that he wasn't having sex. But now we fast forward and I may say that, I'm saying that to say I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to fucking lie. I'm an open book. So he lied and said he will always go down in history as the liar who said because it was a big setup to make me look dumb, but even sleeping with him. I noticed the red flags with the rat poisoning on the table and different chemicals right on the table of his house, and how he would get up at night every time I would lay down. Like his boys probably was right next door ready to blast me and scar him, and I go, I'm dead and he's alive with minimum damage. He tried one last attempt to get me. Everybody that knows me has been in and out of this building. Who knows who has the tapes? Who watches me all the time? He's in the area at 1 o'clock in the morning. After all I've been through, they're trying to set me up to look dumb, like I'm infatuated with a white man. That's not true. So the last person that was here that I did not sleep with and did not want to sleep with, just wanted regular conversation, was a murderer. He kept saying, I'm going to smash this dude. I'm going to blast this dude. Who is this dude that did that to you? I said, I don't kiss and tell, nor do I sit up there and care about what he did to me. The point is I can live with it. Oh, why you sitting up there taking up for women, man? Women did you dirty, man. I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill them. I'm like, no, I have no ill will towards the lady I hit that put me in jail for 9 months. How did it happen? How did you get herpes? How did this bada doom, bada ding? Here go a Mentos. Take a Mentos. Get high, nice and high off of meth or whatever you had on those Mentos that you did not take. Because I always kept my head down. Y'all are going to jail for a very long time. You have assaulted African American Black women. You repeatedly admitted that you raped them, or you claim to have alleged that they allegedly said that you raped them in the anus. Do you really think that whether I had it or not, which I don't, that I would actually let you hit and then hit and then hit me in the future and mess up my face? It's okay. One big setup. They enter. What happens is I'll reach out to like 10 people, just like leads. Let me explain myself. Leads. What do you do when you get leads? You get 25,000 impressions, but you probably get 2 calls, organic lead calls. So I'll reach out to a bunch of people on Facebook dating just to see and prove my point. And so they'll respond. So like 5 will respond out of 10. 3 I'll give my number to once they respond because I don't like to be on there. 2 will call me and then ignore me. And then 3 months later, one will call back random on a whole new number stating, hey, do you remember me? I can prove it with my phone records. I am not a prostitute or whore. I've never gotten money in exchange for sex. I've never asked for money. It's always mutual. And I can hold my head up high to that MF that was in my house. I let that dirty dog in my house, that dirty beaten dog that's no better than my brother. I can hold my head up high with all the guys that I've slept with. They all knew. And they gladly did and would have. And now that I don't have it, screw it. I know I'm never, ever, I am never, ever, ever sleeping with no one from Seattle, ever again. Because whoever is intercepting them, like they were intercepted at La Vista Apartments, is causing them to want me dead and set me up. Like, that is sad, man. That is sad. So I go to, let's rewind again. I have more to say. I go to July 1st to get my blood drawn. A week later, at the exact moment, the person who claimed to have had herpes, I was in his house. They called me. They were looking for me to confide in him so he can confirm and probably twist the narrative and said I gave him herpes. This is how they smear your name. James tried to lure me outside. He came right past me. He knew what La Vista Apartments looked like. I'm glad I said that filter name. He knew what my apartments looked like. It's okay, though. It is okay. Now, I get back to my story of what happened to me 4 days ago. He lunged at me. I'm getting a little better with not contacting the police right now, but it's sometimes hard because of whatever is in my system. They smeared the fuck out of my name in Seattle, Kirkland, Bellevue, and everywhere else. That was so wrong on so many different levels. A girl with herpes and getting her second master's that never would, I would have died with that secret, and I would have been fine with that. It wouldn't, it's not even really a secret because I told people, but I would have died keeping that from you guys. And only God would have understood why I attempted to do what I did. There needs to be someone held accountable for calling me and setting me up that day. Donald Trump, I urge you to come in here with the troops. I urge you to take down the drug dealers, the killers, the immigrants, illegal immigrants. They smear my name. I'm an independent, but they smeared my name. They keep trying to enhance fear and anxiety in me to cause a panic attack and a severe, violent reaction. Had I not had self control, I would have easily stabbed him in the neck. He willing to take his own life to put me back behind bars. All you had to do was let me do what I was supposed to do. All you had to do was let me do what I was supposed to do. This is my documentary. All you had to do was allow me to run for state senate. But then you started filming me. Then you started keeping tabs on me all the way from Tacoma. And I kept talking about it on my show. I kept talking about how people that are Hispanic are following me. I kept calling the police. I kept contacting the FBI. And now, look, I trusted in women and they lied to me. I would never trust fully another person for after everything that I've been through. I could never do it again because if I and I never did it, but I gave in a little bit. Every day I was beginning to trust, and that's one power that you can never take away from me again. You built me up just to bring me down. You took away my trust. You gave me trust just so I can give you my trust, just so you can take away my trust. That hurts. Like I said, I was under the influence twice. And I feel bad for the guy who killed his three children that was a veteran. What was he under? What about all the other veterans that mysteriously had problems, severe violence attacks? I've been under the influence of methamphetamine 3 times now, if not more. But the three major times I can remember is one, when my husband gave me meth. We had an 8 ball of meth. He kept asking me for meth. I told him, no, I don't want the meth because I looked. What hurts is by choice. I looked it up. It was on TV. They were that and bath salts. And they said it's not good. It does XYZ. So I made the choice to do heroin, crack, fentanyl, but I never turned personally towards meth. It was given to me by my husband. We were, I went, I sat up there and I was smoked fentanyl and I sat up there and I was supposed to get Oxycontin, oxycodone, and Percocet from the VA. Well, the VA, before I left Hawaii, completely cut me off that day. And I had an airplane to catch that day. Immediately, I went into withdrawal. Talk about being on 3 different opiates for 2 whole years. And they completely cut me off. I went into a huge withdrawal. You don't get to sleep on an airport in the airplane. So I asked for some heroin, or I don't know if it was fentanyl or heroin, but I asked for either or. And he gave me a shot of it, my husband. And then I had a needle in my bra, and I walked past security at the airport checkpoint, and they let me go. My husband had an 8 ball. It's no way he was going to leave that meth behind. That's a drug. We got back to Illinois. And he said one day, his mother said, "You're on your own." Big old dog sitting there. You're on your own. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. I'm young. This is after I told on her about her leaving a condom in my house. Leaving a condom in my house, having sex with a guy while married in my house while I have a child, her own grandson. She could have been fiddling with her grandson, playing around with her grandson, but that's what they did. That's what they did. One go over one house and have sex, another one go over, Jussie go over her house, Yvette go over his house. I wasn't for that shit. And so fast forward, I told her husband. Fast forward again, I'm in her house. Fast forward again, I reached the point where Jussie said, I got some morphine. My grandmother passed away. I said, okay. And not before telling him I was a psychic medium. And so he sat up there and he went to go get this morphine from his grandmother, who was on life support. And then it took him 30 minutes. He went into the garbage. This is what he alleged, and picked the morphine. Why would they throw away morphine in your family? All of them are drug addicts. All of y'all. You played me, bro. Very good for years. Had me thinking I was crazy. So anyway, he gave me a shot of it. I stayed up for 3 days. In between that time, pots were boiling. I was calling my sister. And then I never slept for 3 days. For 3 days. I stripped naked in front of a witness. They sent me to a hospital where I was admitted for a whole month. Got out, tried to meet back up with him, went crazy again. I know the NSA is not going to stop until you're behind bars for something. You and my son. You drove me crazy, and my second husband was no better. In and out the hospital. This is what black men do to women like me. You can't get mad because this is my story. One day in the hospital, I was so out of it that I almost defecated in a closet. And they said, "Oh, Miss Cloud." Other times, I was mute for a whole 2 weeks and I couldn't talk. They would ask me questions, I would have to point. So I had electric shock therapy. And I prayed to Trump in the mental institution at the VA hospital. I got $300,000 back a year later. I invested $10,000 in Blue Cloud Cleaning Company LLC. And that is my story. I've been framed. But the good thing is, God has given me a second chance. I'm going to take one more attempt to be okay with the VA. I got my records. I'm going to get another STI check, and I'm just going to see where it goes. I haven't had sex, but just in case, record with the VA. I have my record that proves that I was not positive for any STI at all. And to that guy out there who lied and tried to have me set up, may God have mercy on your soul, because you're a bitter, bitter man. So for you to contact me and say I'm confused and possibly call 911. See, y'all not, like I said, you call 911 on me, all of my stuff is going to be confiscated. And they're going to go over every record. You were calling me very heavily at 1 o'clock in the morning, booty call hours. And I have never had you over my house around 1 o'clock in the morning. I am not that dumb. I urge the FBI to investigate this, and I urge that y'all investigate Seattle for doing this to me, trying to lock me up on purpose and get a beautiful, beautiful Black woman like me to not be around senators, politicians, congressmen, because they're afraid